Welcome to Focus on Crestview, a joint production between Cox Communications and the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce. We welcome you to all the issues and interesting things we have going on with the Chamber for the month of September. And most importantly, we have a very special guest this morning, Emerson Lee from Lee Buick GMC in Crestview. Good morning, Emerson.
Good morning.
I'm glad to have you here as always. You've been a long-time sponsor of not only the Chamber, but I think it's safe to say Lee Buick has sponsors many things in the community, and today is going to be no exception. This month, as a sponsor for the Chamber, you are actually donating a good bit of your time on television and at the breakfast to the Rotary, one of the fine organizations we have in Crestview area.
Yes, sir. We try to be very supportive in the community of Crestview in all sorts of ways, but one way is in the Chamber and sponsoring the breakfast, and also giving our time to Rotary, both here and at the breakfast. We're going to let them have a lot of time to let everybody know what they're doing throughout the community.
Well, it's absolutely appreciated by all over there. The Rotary in Crestview has that very special event once a year, and that event is a big part of what you guys have helped support, and that is the Wild Game Dinner, and it is famous.
Yes, sir. It's a great event. Get out there and get some good food and good fellowship, stuff like that.
It is. I was there last year, and it was outstanding. But not only that, as far as the Chamber, our own Triple B, you are a major player for that, and so many other things over the years. It's just we really appreciate everything that you do for the community of Crestview.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to have the opportunity to do that.
Well, now, how long have you folks been at your location, south end of town there?
I believe we moved in there probably about 2006, 2007. We just did a big remodel on the store that General Motors wanted us to do, which I think gave a new look to that part of Crestview, and we're very excited about that.
Right, and we had come out to do a ribbon cutting, I think, out there, and I'll tell you what, that was some good food, and they have some pretty cars on those lots.
Yes, sir.
Some gorgeous cars.
Yes, sir.
Buick's always had nice lines, and now is no exception to it. It's great. What else do you have coming up in the future for the dealership? Well,
we've always got big sales going on. You know, we carry one of the largest used car inventories in Okaloosa County, definitely in Crestview, and so we're always hitting the used car market really hard. You know, we're big sponsors of the quarterback club too, so we try and have big events out at the football games. We just had a Nerf toss at the Meet the Bulldogs. And things like that, but nothing really too big to speak about coming up.
Well, I think it's safe to say the Bulldogs know you very, very well and have been a very strong supporter of that group, and
yes,
we do love our Bulldogs up there in Mid-County.
Yes, sir, we do. Important
part of what we have going on. Well, as far as the rest of the things that you are involved in the community out there, they're too long to list here today. You folks have just been there and done that for so many years, and everybody in Crestview knows who you are and they know where you are. And as I said, there's a lot of Buicks and GMCs riding around in the Mid-County area. So you must be having a good success with the dealership.
Yes, sir. We want our last name on the back of every car in Crestview.
That's a great slogan. You'll have to do that.
Yes, sir.
Well, there in the second segment, we're going to be visiting with Mike and Bill from the Rotaries, talking about all the things they have going on. And once again, I know they're greatly appreciative of your help and support for them. So if you'll stay with us and join us for the next segment, here we'll be bringing some more information about things that are going on in Mid-County, particularly all about the Rotary.
The Destin Seafood Festival is back October 4th through 6th. Get ready for fresh seafood, artist and craft vendors, live music, and more. The festival will run from Heron Harbor to Harbor Walk Village, showcasing the beautiful Destin Harbor, the charter fishing fleet, harbor restaurants, and the harbor boardwalk. Enjoy local seafood, children's activities, and fireworks on Saturday night, and help us kick off the 65th Annual Destin Fishing Rodeo. As always, this family-friendly event is free and open to the public, so run, walk, or YOLO board over. But we hope to see you at the 35th Annual Destin Seafood Festival.
When 10,000 students need to be online at the same time, Cox Business is there. When the big game relies on an even bigger communications network, we're there. And when students need the same tools and opportunities no matter where they are, we're there. With a $16 billion network and ability to route 50 million calls a day, Cox Business empowers education. We're there for your business, too.
Welcome back to this segment of Focus on Crestview. I'm Dennis Mitchell, president of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce. Today we have been talking with Lee Buick GMC, and they have graciously donated a great deal of their time as sponsor for the September breakfast and for the show here to the Rotary. And we have some of the esteemed folks from our Rotary in the Crestview area, and I'd like to bring this morning. We have Mike Carroll, who is the president-elect, as I understand. And we also have Bill Barnhill, an old friend, former student a long time ago, and he is a charter member of the Rotary. If you would, Mike, give us a little preview of some of the things going on with the Rotary up in our neck of the woods.
I'd be glad to. The biggest thing we got coming up on our schedule right now is starting the end of September, the last weekend in September and all 4 weekends in October, we have our annual corn maze. If everybody remembers, it was a real big hit for us last year. We had a great turnout. A lot of people showed up. The corn maze last year was our Rotary logo that was put into the corn. It was about a little over 5 acres. And this year it's a little over 7 acres. And we decided to go with an F-35. So we've got some aerial photos of stuff of the corn so far. You'll see that out in the news, and we're looking forward to another great year with the corn maze. We're going to have the kiddie rides, we're going to have the petting zoo, we're going to have the hay rides. We got concessions out there, so we're expecting to be at least double what we did last year.
Well, I wouldn't be at all surprised because everybody was talking about the corn maze. It just went on and on. People must have just had a great time. I was busy being out of town during a lot of that time and missed it, but this year I'm going to be there.
Yeah, yeah, it was a big hit for us last year. We were kind of surprised. It was something that Bill had come up with about a year and a half ago, and we said, let's give it a try. So we tried it, and it was a hit, and it's going to be an annual event for us. It's going to get bigger and bigger every year.
Well, now, do you have any new twists for it this year, or are you just going to expand on the same things you had before?
We expanded on everything in the corn maze. We had to expand, if you remember the corn cannons we had last year, that was one of the bigger hits, probably more than the corn itself. Shooting corn cobs out in the field at targets using air compressed cannons. So,
too much fun.
Yeah, we started off with 1 cannon. We ended up the year with 2, and this year we're going to have 4. So the line won't be as long.
Excellent.
And then in addition to that, this year we've added another twist that Bill has gotten with the sheriff's posse, and they're going to be adding haunt, and Bill can talk to about the haunt. That's going to be in addition to the corn maze.
Great, the haunt. Bill, tell us all about the haunt.
Well, Nightmare on the Old Spanish Trail. If you're a student of history, you know that the Old Spanish Trail ran right through, actually, my property. And we've taken a lot of history and truth and taken some liberties with some of the truth, but we've created a great story and a great haunted trail. And the sheriff's posse has been working with us on it, and it's going to be outstanding. We've got some really neat animatronics and stuff inside the haunted trail.
Can you give us just a little peek preview of some of the things that might set our hearts to racing a bit?
Well, we've actually discovered an actual battle site between the conquistadors and the Creek Indians, and a lot of artifacts left because of that. Because of the nature of this trail and its secret place, some of the modern day people have found their way in there and carrying on some illicit activities like moonshining and like grinding feed up for hogs, and we have a haunted graveyard in there and a tremendous oak tree right where the graveyard is, a big live oak, probably one of the largest in Florida, and there are some zombies and skeletons and corpses hanging around there. A couple of the animatronics, again, if you study the history of Florida, wolves were here. The red wolf was in Florida many years ago, and rumor has it some of those still exist on our trail. So a lot of really neat things that I think will scare people and entertain them.
Now, what are the dates for the haunt?
The first date on the haunt will be Friday and Saturday nights. The haunt will open September 27th and 28th. for 5 weekends, and then the last 4 days of the month, which would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Thursday being Halloween, we'll also be open for the haunt, and we will also have a flashlight corn maze those last 4 days. So 14 days for the corn maze, 14 days for the haunt.
Well, you folks are really busy. Now, that takes a lot of people to make all those things work. So on the haunt, about how many people do you have from the Rotaries out there getting things done for you?
Well, the sheriff's posse is working on the haunt, and we had a work day last weekend, and we had 11 from the sheriff's posse there. We'll have another work day this weekend, and I hope we have more than that. But also for the haunt, we're soliciting actors from the schools, and we still have room for a lot of actors. It'll take about 35 people to staff it at night.
It's so much work goes into these things, but you guys are just famous for pulling it off so well.
And with the corn maze last year, we had great participation from the leadership club at Crestview High School, and those kids really got into that and enjoyed it.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, the probably the signature thing that the Rotary is maybe known for far and wide would be the Wild Game Dinner. And can you tell us a little bit about that, Mike?
Well, actually, it's been what, 18 years, 19 years? I'm not sure.
This will be our 21st
Bill's been
year.
in from
21st year.
Wow. And that comes up in February each year, and we try to cram as many people as we can in a huge tent, about 500-600 people, and feed them, and that turns out to be a real good event for us as well.
Well, I know last year there was a lot of people in that tent, and I recommend, if you have not been to one of these, it is really something you don't want to miss going to. It is unusual. The food is outstanding, absolutely great. And it's literally a who's who in the area, and they come from far and wide. It's not just a local thing. This is a panhandle type event, and a lot of folks come there. It's just so much fun. Now, maybe you mentioned it, but I may have missed it. Now, what is the date this year for the Wild Game Dinner?
February 7th, be Friday night, and then there's always a 2-day quail hunt with it, so the quail hunt will be February 7th and 8th.
It is fantastic. Now, and where it's at is also unique. Can you tell us a little bit about where it is and how you would get there on the typical trip? If I'm going to buy some tickets and go there, what happens when we try to go to this wonderful event?
Well, it's Gum Creek Lodge, and it's in Baker, and it's on my property, but we have tried to move into the 21st century. We now have a Google address, 911 address, and we have a road named, it's Gum Creek Lodge Road, and it's off of Buckward Road in Baker. So it's pretty easy to find.
Well, I remember last year when we arrived there, you had everything so highly organized, and we were able to get in other vehicles to be taken all the way into the system. So you're really out, and you really have the feel you're out in the woods, and it's a great feeling. It's a wonderful place. Last year was a nice crisp weather, but the tents you have set up, the facilities are wonderful, very comfortable evening. You're not exactly out there on a survival trip. It's pretty first class.
Yeah, we've had some pretty interesting guest speakers. I guess last year was Jen Brown, the sportscaster for ESPN Sports. She was out there last year.
She was terrific.
Yeah,
absolutely terrific.
Yeah, she spoke real well. And just to mention those vehicles you were talking about, those were donated by Lee Buick too. So,
and somehow that doesn't surprise me in the least.
Yeah, they've been a big help.
Lee
sponsor of ours.
Lee Buick GMC is just, they're everywhere, they're all around. They're very quiet about that. They're not the ones that wave the flag very heavily, but they are a very important part of the quality of life in the Mid-County area out there. So anything different going to be going on this year with the Wild Game Dinner?
No, actually we're focusing on this corn maze. It's really, once we get done with the corn maze, the end of October, then we got to put it in high gear for the Wild Game Dinner. You
have to change the troops into the new gear.
Yeah.
And we hope that Ramsey will watch this program and remind him that we still need a speaker.
Yeah.
No pressure.
That's right. But he always comes through. Mickey did, and Ramsey has. So in fact, Ramsey secured Jen Brown for us last year, so he did a great job.
Well, that was a spectacular, and she was inspiring to listen to. It was a great evening out there altogether. We had a large group and went out there and had a great time.
Over this 20 years now, the Wild Game Dinners, we've donated $113,000 to the college.
My
over
goodness.
that 20-year period.
$113,000. My goodness gracious.
So.
And how long has Lee Buick GMC been involved?
Oh, I don't know.
Since the word go.
Absolutely, from day one on.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great.
They always help us with the wild game. They always help with the rodeos. They're very much always involved in the community.
Well, now you have the corn maze. That's a big deal. The haunt's a big deal. The dinner's a big deal. What else do you guys have on the menu coming up for this year?
Well, actually, we just got done with the project. I think we're finished with it. We may have one more school to do, but every year the Crestview Rotary goes to every elementary school in the North County, and we donate dictionaries to every third grader. So we have a little assembly in their meeting rooms, and we donate dictionaries to every third grader. And then we do this for the seventh graders in the North County. We give them pocket constitutions. So it coincides with their curriculum. So we've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years now too.
All good work. Well, you folks are out doing great things as always, as you have for many years, and we appreciate that very much. And thank you so much for spending time with us today. And also, once again, thanks to Lee Buick GMC for allowing you to have some opportunity to talk to the community out there. In just a moment, after we take our break, we'll come back for the next segment. We'll have Alicia Booker, our president-elect for the Chamber, join us, and we'll tell you about all the fun and exciting things we have coming up for the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce. Stay with us.
At Cox Media, we are committed to creating local demand for your business through the most engaging advertising solutions available. Utilizing Cox Media's promotional, research, and production services, we'll develop a customized marketing plan that fits your budget, giving you a clear snapshot of who your customers are and how to reach them. Contact us today and start capturing the attention of your customers wherever they live, work, shop, and play. Cox Media, your customers delivered.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds. Stop the texts, stop the wrecks.
Welcome back to the final segment of the September version of Focus on Crestview. I'm Dennis Mitchell, president of the Crestview Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined for this segment by our president-elect, Alicia Booker from North Okaloosa Medical Center.
Hi, Dennis. Wonderful to be with you here again today.
Always fun to do this show with you. We've had a great start today talking to the Lee Buick GMC, Emerson Lee, and also they've donated some time to the Rotary Club. So we had Mike Carroll and Bill Barnhill tell us all about things going on with the Rotary. What can you tell us is going on with the exciting Crestview Area Chamber?
Well, we're going to get started, and we do have some upcoming meetings and events going on with the Chamber. To start off, on September the 3rd, the Health and Wellness Committee met and discussed some of the things going on with the upcoming health fair. And the health fair is on October 26th, and we are looking for sponsors. We've got vendors already signing up, so it's a great opportunity for those in the healthcare industry to get involved and let the community know what it is they have to offer. So again, the Health and Wellness Committee steering that. On September the 5th, Crestview Chamber monthly breakfast at 7:30 a.m.
Looking forward to that as always, and it's going to have some more fun stuff added than even usual.
Yes, we're going to have quite a few surprises at this particular breakfast. On September the 9th, the Arts and Culture Committee will meet at 8:30 a.m. at the Journey Java Connection. On September the 10th, the MAC Committee meets at 11 a.m. at the Coach and Four Steakhouse. On September the 11th, we have the Government Issues Committee meeting at 8 a.m. at the Crestview Chamber.
Right, and that's chaired by Ashley Rogers, Chester and Bar, and she's done a great job this year. This time we have the speaker she has arranged for is Nathan Sparks, the new director for the Economic Development Council. Be a great thing. And also next month, I think she's planning to do a workshop on the TIF, the funding ideas for how to get some new infrastructure throughout the county. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be very interesting information.
Certainly so, and you could always check the calendar too for such information when these meetings come up. On September the 12th, we have our business after hours hosted by the Heritage Museum of Northwest Florida, and that's going to be in Valpy at 5:30. And we definitely want to invite everyone to come out and participate and visit the museum.
After hours are always fun. Last month we were at Hellenbach, and that was just a hoot.
Yes, it was. And after that, following on September the 19th, we have the Pilot Committee meeting at 12 o'clock, and that's held at the Office Lounge. And on September 19th, we also have the executive meeting of the Chamber. On the 25th of September, the Ambassador Committee meets at 8:30 a.m., again at the Journey Java. And on September the 26th, the General Board meeting of the Chamber will be held at 4 p.m. at the Crestview Chamber. And those are a few of the things that we have going on. And we also have some new members to welcome to the Chamber.
Good.
The new members that joined us in August are Frank and Betty Brooks, and Youth Biz Unity Productions with Willie Farrow, the Woodmen of the World, Bob Weathersby, and Dr. Lamar White also joined us during the month of August. So welcome to those new members. And we had just a few ribbon cuttings as well, so very busy. And we had Family Home Center, the ribbon cutting for that, and also Claxton's Bargains was a ribbon cutting for the month.
Yes, so we had, I was at both of those, and they are interesting and fun, and please stop by to see these folks. I know Wayne Harris, our executive director, he and I were scooting to make the one over there to see that. We had a briefing at the 7th, which was an absolutely wonderful experience out there with Colonel Riga, and we learned a whole lot about things that are going on in the 7th and how involved they are becoming in the community as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and again with the upcoming events, I can't say enough about the health fair. Again, that date is October 26th. It's held at the community center. It begins at 8 a.m. There will be lots of activities for children, so it's a family event. We'll have a kids corner, and we always have good involvement with the police department and the fire department coming out and during the fingerprinting and the trucks and involvement again from all of the healthcare facilities.
I was amazed last year. That was a packed house. They had vendors from one end of the building to the other, and apparently that is a great place to get lots of good information.
Yes, lots of good information and lots of free screenings take place at the health fair as well, so you don't want to miss it.
And as we said, free screenings.
Free screenings. Also want to mention on September the 28th, the Okaloosa Walton Heart Walk will be taking place, and that this year North Okaloosa Medical Center is one of the major sponsors of the Heart Walk, and so we want to invite everyone to come out for that. And then November 9th is a big date coming up for the Chamber, and that's the annual wine gala.
Ah, yes, the wine gala. I'm looking forward to that again this year.
It's going to be spectacular this year. We have quite a few things going on. We have the headliners Jones and Company coming back to join us, and they were a hit last year certainly, and we're happy to have them with us again this year. Tickets are already on sale, and you can purchase them from the Chamber website, and the tickets are $40 for the event. And we just have so many different things going on because we're recognizing a lot of the Florida culture with this particular wine gala. So something that you definitely want to be involved in. And you can check out the Chamber website for more information on the wine gala, updates as to who the sponsors are. And we'd like to thank our sponsors that we have so far. Our premier sponsor is L3 Communications and Emerald Coast Aviation, and they will be the host of the wine gala as well. Our wine enthusiast, Okaloosa Heart and Vascular, and CCB Community Bank. And we have, of course, our wine connoisseurs, Gulf Power, Okaloosa Title and Abstract, and Blackstone Golf Course, Quest Air Parts, and Sunshine Aero Industries, as well as the Okaloosa Eye Care, Warren Averett LLC, and Dr. Richie Thomas, DDS. He's a dentist in the area. And our wine tasting partners this year are North Okaloosa Medical Center, Main Street Land Title Company, and Gulf Coast Dermatology and Avcon.
Excellent. Well, if it's anything like last year, and I'm sure it will be, at the airport again, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. We attract folks from all around, not just this area, but actually quite a few miles that started coming to this. It's a wonderful event, sort of elegant, and we have a lot of fun out there as well as do some good work.
Certainly, and again, you can check out all these particular events coming up on the Chamber's website. You can also like us on Facebook, and you can check out some of the silent auction items as we get closer to the event, because again, this is a fundraiser and a portion of those proceeds will be going towards the scholarship fund.
Well, as always, we have a lot of things going on. The last few things we'll talk about here today would be some of the things that the Chamber itself is involved in. And one of the things that we've been doing is we have set up an association with the other 3 chambers in the Okaloosa County, and we've been meeting together and looking at some issues. One of the issues that we have brought up is stormwater as it relates to the Restore Act. If you remember all the BP oil issues, and so we've been looking at that, and we have been meeting, and we've gotten a lot of help from the Eglin folks out there. They've been kind enough to have some of their technical folks join us. Also, I have to tell you that the FDEP went to a lot of trouble, and we met with them a couple of weeks ago. They brought their folks over from Tallahassee, and so we're looking at the issue because it's a very wide-scale issue, and the chambers are very sincere about making sure we understand what is the biggest bang for the buck when and if the Restore monies actually come in.
And what does that mean to the community? For that type of information, what do we need to know?
Well, it's a complicated process, and so we have people like Nick Chubb, who was over in New Orleans at the Restore Act, getting more information to bring back here. Nick's the representative on the subcommittee from the Fort Walton Chamber. So we'll be putting together some information perhaps and sharing with folks as we see what seems to be the best way to go to get the biggest bang for the buck and make sure that our bay is pristine out there. So thanks. Well, once again, we have enjoyed our day here with the sponsorship, the gracious sponsorship of Lee Buick GMC. They have been with us year after year, have done great stuff in our visits from the Rotary. So we'll ask that you stay with us and for Focus on Crestview. It'll be coming up all during the month of September. And again, check our website for the Chamber. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.